oh no. Oh no, Senator Susan Collins, she was lied to. Said the justices wouldn't overturn Roe v. Wade. Look at her reaction.
Alito, who wrote the draft, says that what distinguishes Roe from other cases, however, is that, quote, abortion destroys potential life. We should, however, also note that many of these same justices who signed on to this draft suggested during their confirmation hearings that they had nothing but respect for this exact precedent, Roe v. Wade.
It is an important precedent of the Supreme Court. By it, I mean Roe v. Wade and Planned Parenthood versus Casey. Been reaffirmed many times. Casey is precedent on precedent, which itself is an important factor.
Senator, as the book explains, the Supreme Court of the United States has held in Roe versus Wade that a fetus is not a person for purposes of the 14th Amendment. And the book explains that.
Do you accept that?
That's the law of the land. I accept the law of the land, Senator, yes.
Reassurances such as those were made presumably, at least in part, to win the votes of Republican senators who...
This is why hypocrisy policing is so fucking stupid, and this is precisely why it's additionally fucking stupid when you, for some weird reason, believe in the sanctity and the infallibility of institutions. Like, you're a fucking idiot. You're never going to win anything. And the guys that lie to you all the time are going to keep dicking you down. You're going to constantly find yourself going, oh, doy, how did this happen? Doy. Oh, who could have foreseen this? This is crazy. It's like, well, everyone, dude, everyone, okay? Everyone, every single person with a fucking brain cell. I despise institutionalists so much, dude. So much. This is politics, okay? This is not a fucking Marvel movie. It's about power and who has it. And Republicans clearly exercise it regularly. They don't give a fuck about lying to millions of people. Jesus Christ.
Support abortion rights, specifically Senators Lisa Murkowski of Alaska and Susan Collins of Maine. Don't you think, just as an academic matter, Neil Gorsuch, for whom you voted, don't you think he's probably going to vote to overturn Roe versus Wade if given the chance?
I actually don't. I had a very long discussion with Justice Gorsuch in my office, and he pointed out to me that he is a co-author of a whole book on precedent.
That was Senator Collins on Justice Gorsuch. Here she is on Justice Kavanaugh.
He noted that Roe had been reaffirmed 19 years later by Planned Parenthood versus Casey, and that it was precedent on precedent. He said it should be extremely rare that it be overturned, and it should be an example.
So you have obviously full confidence.
I do.
Today, Senator Collins reacted to the news with...
Hey, ma'am. Let me just ask something, guys, over at CNN. Hey, Jake. If this is damning for Senator Susan Collins, and you're covering this to be like, look how fucking stupid she is, what does that say about you? Don't you think you're a fucking idiot just like she is? For constantly having this like idiotic fucking back and forth like they're being serious? Don't you feel like you're just as fucking stupid? Like, you can't cut this news reel being like, wow, I can't believe Senator Collins. Look at her. Look at how much of a fucking big, dumb idiot she is. When you yourself operate on the same fucking spectrum of idiocy. You are just as stupid as they are, except the difference is they're not stupid, chat. They're not. They don't care. They don't give a fuck. Jake Tapper is never going to feel the fear. And he doesn't care. Does not care about people that might not be able to get an abortion when they desperately need to. Okay? That's the fucking difference. What do you expect him to do? I expect all of these motherfuckers to do what I'm doing. To be like, that's bullshit. okay? Fucking bullshit. Don't have Susan Collins on to pad the deck and offer comfort to millions of Americans as though she is an honest broker, and that the other demons that she's talking to on the also on the Republican appointee list are also is spreading truths and talking about their fucking perspective on abortion in good faith. Like, that's so stupid. What do you mean, what else could they do? Not dupe the public, dog. That's what they could do.
With a brief statement saying in part, quote, if this leaked draft opinion is the final decision and this reporting is accurate, it would be completely inconsistent with what Justice Gorsuch and Justice Kavanaugh said in their
my
hearings
stars and garters.
in our meetings in my office, unquote. Senator Murkowski today, too, also suggested that Gorsuch and Kavanaugh perhaps had not been fully honest about their position, saying in a statement, quote, the comment that I made earlier was, if in fact this draft is where the court ends up being, the words that I used is, it has rocked my confidence in the court. And that is because I think there was some representations made with regards to precedent, unquote. For years, it seemed obvious this day would come, and in fact was being planned by Republicans for decades.
It's so funny when they say this about Mitch McConnell, too. That's the funniest part. My favorite is when they go and do this about Mitch McConnell. They'll be like, wait a minute. Mitch McConnell said a second Supreme Court justice for Donald Trump was not going to happen. I'm sorry, we're in an election cycle. What? And it's like, dude, are you fucking dumb? How do you get fucked every time and then you still have surprise Pikachu face? How? It is so obvious that they do not care. You are not a fucking human being to them, okay? You're just a dumbass. You're a Democrat. Wait a minute, it's an election cycle. They can't appoint another Supreme Court justice. Of course they can, and they will. You're a fucking idiot. That's why I get so mad when they're like, well, what about the filibuster? We could, what if the Republicans will use the filibuster? When they're in power, it's like, dude, they're already fucking us without the filibuster. What's going to change? You know what I mean? What are they going to do? Fuck us harder? They're already fucking us.
Many anti-abortion activists and politicians have been quite clear about this plan. But even President Trump, who more than any other single American, with the possible exception of Senator Mitch McConnell, is responsible for this moment, well, Trump, when it came down to talking to voters, downplayed what seemed to obviously be in the cards during the 2020 presidential.
Yeah, and the reason why he downplayed it is because he knows they look like fucking freaks, dude. This is freak shit, okay? This is actually fucking freak shit. Like, this level of, like, blind loyalty to the most psychotic fucking parts of their fan base, their voter base, is coming across as freak shit. But it doesn't even matter. It might not even, like, actually bear itself in, like, positive results in the election cycle for the Democrats in the way the Democrats think it's going to happen. Democrats low-key love this because they're like, oh, finally, like, unconditionally, we get to, like, be on the right side of an issue without even trying to, like, actively do something about it.
Boy.
Inflation is at an all-time high. The economy for the average American is not looking too great. The only bills they can pass is fucking giving money to Ukraine. And now all of a sudden, like, this is great. Now they can cut out, like, vote for us because we need to save democracy. Vote for us. We need to protect reproductive health for women. And it's awesome for them. Like, this is great. This is like, thank you for the gift, kind stranger. Thank you for the Reddit gold. Okay. Oh my God, this dumbass goes, funding the death of Russian imperialist base. Dude, what the fuck are you talking about? We're talking about for the average American winning midterm elections, okay? Spending as much money as we do yearly in Afghanistan, but this time, going to the same people, by the way, the military-industrial complex, but this time in fucking Ukraine is not like what you're gonna win elections on, okay? Our goals of beefing up our military-industrial complex, our most significant industry, might be in line with what the Ukrainian people want for emancipation, but that doesn't change the reality that for the average American's perspective, they don't give a fuck.
Presidential debate.
The point is that the president also is opposed to Roe v. Wade. That's on the ballot as well in the court. And so that's also at stake right now. And so the election is all
You don't know it's on the ballot. Why is it on the ballot?
Because
Why is it
you
on the
said
ballot? It's not on the ballot.
It's on the ballot in the
I
court.
don't think so.
In the court. Well,
There's nothing happening there.
Donald, would you
And
just
you don't
be quiet
know
for a minute?
her view on Roe v. Wade. You
I
don't
don't
know her
know.
view.
Anyone paying attention had a pretty good idea of her view. So why the lack of full transparency?
I'm sorry, dude. I don't care. You want to know why I don't care? Because being in the right doesn't change anything. Being in the right in this situation doesn't change anything. Like, look how right we were, lol. Okay, sick. Millions of women are still not going to be able to have access to fucking reproductive health services in the South. So many of them were already unable to, but now they're going to be further punished for it. We're going back to the fucking dark ages, okay? And homies are out here being like, look, we caught him. We got him. We did it, Reddit. Okay, sick, dude. You did it.
Transparency with the American people. Perhaps when it comes to elections, at least, because a CNN poll conducted earlier this year finds that just 30% of the American people want to see the Supreme Court overturn Roe v. Wade. 69% say they do not. CNN's Paula Reed starts off our coverage today from outside the U.S. Supreme Court with a closer look at what could come next.
The leaked draft sparking protests across the country.
The people united will never be defeated.
And prompting questions. Chief Justice John Roberts.
Do you plan to investigate the leak?
Seen here leaving his home.
Yeah, I hate to pat myself on the back on this. Just kidding. I love patting myself on the back. But yeah, it's the designated HasanAbi rule, by the way. 30% of the country. It's the 30% rule. In the United States of America, you can always find 30% to agree to anything, okay? Literally, like, you know, cannibalizing fucking babies, and you'd have 30% be like, yeah, no, I could see that happening under the right circumstances.
On Tuesday, issued a statement calling the leak an egregious breach. He has directed the marshal of the court to investigate. The court confirms the draft is authentic, but cautioned it does not represent a decision or position of any member on the issues in the case. The nearly 100-page opinion says a majority of justices are prepared to uphold a Mississippi law that would ban abortion after 15 weeks and overturn Roe v. Wade, which established a right to abortion 50 years ago, leaving it to individual states to determine abortion's legality. Justice Samuel Alito authored the draft, stating there is no inherent right to an abortion. Writing, the Constitution makes no reference to abortion, and no such right is implicitly protected by any constitutional provision. Alito says Roe was egregiously wrong from the start, and that its reasoning was exceptionally weak, and the decision has had damaging consequences. The opinion is not expected to be published until late next month, and could still change as draft opinions circulate and justices can change their mind. But in the wake of this draft opinion, Democrats are vowing to fight to protect abortion rights.
Will go down as an abomination, one of the worst, most damaging decisions in modern history.
The problem is the Democrats don't have the power to make this into federal law at the moment. They don't, because they do not have a filibuster-proof majority. One of the things that they can try and do is yeet the filibuster, okay? But they don't have the majority to do that either, because Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin are saying we're not going to do that. Why? And Democrats ultimately don't care. They don't care because They don't care because this is good for them. This is how you fucking campaign. You know what I mean? This is great. They're like, oh, what a gift. Thank you. Now I can fucking posture from the bully pulpit, you know? Oh, now I can get on a soapbox and be like, oh, look at how bad Republicans are. That's the only way Democrats know how to fucking run.